Hello and welcome to e-GMAT. We will solve question number 73 of OG Verbal Second Edition by using e-GMAT 3-step process. In the first step, we will understand the meaning of the sentence. In the second, we will evaluate the errors in the sentence. And finally, we will review all the answer choices to get to the correct answer. So let's begin. After suffering $2 billion in losses and 25,000 layoffs, the nation's semiconductor industry, which makes chips that run everything from computers and spy satellites to dishwashers, appears to have made a long-awaited recovery. This sentence presents a few facts. It says that the nation's semiconductor industry has already suffered a loss of $2 billion and 25,000 layoffs. Now it has started to show signs of a long-awaited recovery. This industry makes chips that run everything from computers and spy satellites to dishwashers. Now let us evaluate the errors by splitting this sentence into its clauses. So here comes the first clause. After suffering $2 billion in losses and 25,000 layoffs, the nation's semiconductor industry, here the nation's semiconductor industry is the subject, presence of which brings us to another clause that reads which makes chips, here which is the subject and makes is the verb. Presence of that means we have another clause that reads that run everything from computers and spy satellites to dishwashers, here that is the subject and run is the verb. What follows next is the continuation of the first clause where we have the verb for the subject, the nation's semiconductor industry, and the remaining portion of that clause. And it reads, appears to have made a long-awaited recovery, where appears is the verb. Now, this sentence uses the correct idiom from X to Y, so we do not have any idiom error here. Also, both the entities X and Y are logically as well as grammatically parallel to each other, so we do not have any parallelism error as well. Again, the verb phrase appears to have made is correct because it states that there are telltale signs to show that the industry is now recovering. So this sentence has no errors. We will still run the POE to find out why the other answer choices are not correct. Well, choice B is not correct, firstly because it uses the idiom from X and Y, which is an incorrect idiom, and secondly, this phrase appears having is not correct because appears is followed by to verb form. So these two errors make choice B incorrect. Well, choice C is also incorrect because it repeats the same errors as in choice B. Also, choice D is not correct because it repeats the same expression error as in choice C. Choice E uses the incorrect idiom from X as well as Y, and that makes it incorrect. So as we found out during error analysis, choice A is the correct answer for this sentence. This brings us to the takeaway messages of this sentence. Idioms must be correctly worded to convey the intended meaning of the sentence. Also, certain words are followed by specific words for correct usage, so they must be used that way only. The concept tested in this sentence has been covered in e-GMAT Concepts Level 1, Idioms Standard Expressions.